We're also talking about the crypto bros sauntering into the White House today as well for this unprecedented summit with President Trump. I know all three of you are following this as well, because in less than an hour, Trump's crypto czar, David Sachs, expected to lead the meeting with some of the industry's top dogs, including the Winklevoss twins, the co-founders of the cryptocurrency exchange Gemini. And as we know, it's all a part of the president's bid to make America the crypto capital of the world. Trump also establishing this strategic crypto reserve. Trump also establishing what he's calling, well, we're not quite sure what he's calling it because we really don't know what that reserve means. So let's talk about the U.S. Secret Service as well. It says that it's seized 2 Russian crypto exchange websites in the midst of all of this, charged the administrator in a massive money laundering scheme. So, guys, let's talk about this. Selena, Elizabeth, Alexis, bringing you all back. I guess let's start with crypto. Selena, why is the president so hot on this?
Yeah, look, this is something that President Trump had campaigned on. And actually, I'll be speaking with the crypto czar, David Sachs, in just a few moments. So I'll be able to bring you a lot more answers. But to your point, Trump said that he wants to make America the crypto capital of the world. He wants the U.S. to be able to better compete with China when it comes to new digital currencies. And he's brought onto his team a whole group of Silicon Valley kingpins, as well as leaders in the crypto industry. They're all coming to the White House today. And this comes right after President Trump signed an executive order to create a strategic crypto reserve. So this isn't currently about buying more Bitcoin or other digital currencies. This is about using the digital currencies that have already been seized by federal law enforcement and then turning it into a strategic reserve in the same way that we have reserves of other currencies, reserves of gold. There's a finite amount of Bitcoin that is in the world. So they believe that it is helpful for America's economic future to also have reserves of these digital currencies in the way that we also have reserves of other currencies.
So, Elizabeth, how would a crypto reserve work? I mean, whatever that is. I mean, everybody seems to sort of be coming up empty when we try to even explain why we would even want one in the U.S.
And who would have thought we'd be here? This was a promise that a lot of crypto enthusiasts had been hoping would come true. And here we are, Kira. The president says he's fulfilling this promise. Of course, keep in mind, he was fueled by donations from the crypto industry. He has really been a skeptic turned enthusiast when it comes to crypto here. But what a reserve would look like, essentially, is what the White House is comparing it to is a stockpile of gold. It's hard to picture that because gold is a physical, tangible asset. But there is this idea that there's a finite amount of Bitcoin in the same way that there's a finite amount of gold in the world. And so that increases inherently its value because it is this store of value that sits there, and no matter what, it's going to continue to exist, and you can't just make more of it to print it. I mean, one of the main, ideas that has fueled Bitcoin enthusiasts, Kira, is that this is operating separately from the government, that this is something that is independent of the idea that the federal government could just print money. You can't do that with Bitcoin. You can't just mint new coins like that. So it is interesting then that you have the federal government essentially creating a reserve of Bitcoin to just store it as a value. The White House is not saying it's going to sell this, it's not going to buy more, but really it's just a place to have that value as held.
As we all chuckle, because we're all going to be learning how this is going to unfold probably by the minute, right? It's kind of hard to look ahead when there's still so many questions, I guess, surrounding all of this, which leads me to you, Alexis. Trump's tariffs, all these questions around crypto. What does it mean? How's this going to work? The new jobs report now falling below expectations. What are you going to be watching for as markets close out the week?
There's so much uncertainty in the air on Main Street, on Wall Street. Another point on the crypto reserve, a little more information we got is that the government is saying they're not going to use taxpayer money to gather Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Critics were saying, why would you use taxpayer money to, in essence, gamble with a risky investment like crypto? So that may quiet some critics, at least for now. But look, the market has been on a roller coaster ride this week. It's looking to close out its worst week since September. year. And a lot of the analysts and economists I've been talking to this week say until the smoke clears on tariffs in particular, it's going to be a bumpy ride for investors. Those in the market for the long haul may see these big down days as buying opportunities. But one analyst I spoke to today said diversity and volatility are the words of 2025 for Wall Street.